What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Zhilei Zhang, Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. Zhilei Zhang and his team calls out Oleksandr Usyk. He says, is there a heavyweight who's got a better resume in the past 12 months? Zhilei Zhang is having his moment. The formerly unsung Chinese heavyweight contender delivered the performance of his career last Saturday night at the Copper Box Arena in London, forcing a stoppage of Joe the Juggernaut Joyce in 6 rounds. The referee in charge of the contest deemed Joyce's swollen eye unfit for battle. The win has propelled Zhang into a different stratosphere and helped redeem a dispute decision loss to last fight to Croatia's Filip Hrgovic. Terry Lane, one of Zhang's managers, doesn't think any of the elite heavyweights are ready for the southpaw Zhang, whose straight lefts were the story in the fight with Joe Joyce. No one can make him a fight with him. So what does that leave? Usyk. And Usyk fight would require enormous legwork to happen. Usyk has mandatory duties with Daniel Dubois and Hrgovic. Although Joyce has rights to a contractual rematch with Zhang, it is not clear if he will exercise it immediately. In the event that he does not, that could pave a way for Zhang to fight Usyk, who is very, very difficult. Okay, so let me counterpunch, people. Let me counterpunch. Enough reading. Okay. That sounds great. That Zhang would want to call out Usyk because Usyk is that champion. I think that if Zhang really wanted that fight, I think he would I guess wait for the opportunity to come. Remember, he replaced Joe Joyce because Joe Joyce was the WBO interim. So now he's the WBO interim, right? The best of my recollection. So I think he should wait in queue. Now, he is a couple years older than Joe Joyce. So, I think the clock is ticking a little faster, okay, for Zhilei Zhang, because Zhilei Zhang, he doesn't have much time. He's kind of in that situation where Luis Ortiz was about 5-6 years ago, when he was scrambling for that opportunity and he eventually got it. And we all know what happened in those 2 times he had the opportunity to go for gold. Okay. And Zhilei Zhang taking on Usyk would be a great fight in China. I don't know if it would be in China, but I guess it wouldn't be definitely in the Ukraine. So, maybe London, maybe a neutral place would be great for Zhang to get it on with Oleksandr Usyk, and they're both southpaws as well. So I think that Usyk and Zhang would be pretty good. It would be a pretty good matchup. So I don't know if that's the way that they would want it. But then I think, first of all, we need to see what's realistic. Okay. And what's realistic is maybe a rematch with Joe Joyce or a rematch with Filip Hrgovic. Okay, there's a lot to be done in the heavyweight division, and the way it is just the way it is, okay, because they have Daniel Dubois to come in to face Usyk, so, he's not going to give up his opportunity, okay? You also have Joe Joyce with a contractual agreement, which, knowing Joe Joyce, he would more than likely exercise that rematch clause, because I just see him being that dog. He's a dog. I think he's a warrior. So I think he would want to get some get back on, especially from the person that did and gave him the first loss of his career professionally. So I think that would probably happen before Usyk fight, and then Usyk, has a lot of things to do. And it's cool. I think, Zhilei Zhang, being at his age, he should want to call out the best. Yesterday he called out Tyson Fury. So now he's calling out Oleksandr Usyk. It balances it out because they're both champions, So I think as long as they're not fighting each other, I would fancy any fight that Zhang has to offer. So I think it's a very good idea. And I think they're pushing Zhilei Zhang because for me, looking at Zhang, it's now or never. The buzz is around him. He's in a very good place right now. And I say, hey, why not? If he really wanted to put the stank on his career, he could definitely go in and fight Hrgovic again because Hrgovic has called him out and to wanted to definitely fight him in China. So like, whoa, that's a bold move coming from Filip Hrgovic. So, it's bold and it's ambitious for Zhilei Zhang to call out Usyk, but I honestly think it's even bolder what Filip Hrgovic is doing because Filip Hrgovic is also in a good position that he really doesn't need to fight Zhilei Zhang because he could just walk off in the sunset and say, hey, you know what? I already beat him already. I don't need to do that. I need to wait for my opportunity for my title shot. He could do that, but he's not. He's swearing on his father's grave that, hey, I will fight Zhilei Zhang in front of 1 billion people. And I think he's trying to promote that. Why wouldn't he promote that? Because that's going to be a grudge match. It's controversial. Even he said it's a close fight. Zhilei Zhang wants this guy, but does Zhilei Zhang still want Filip Hrgovic? Because things could change very drastically. Because you could tell about certain people when they get in certain positions where their heart or their ambition or their desire is at. Okay? Because look at it like this. Zhilei Zhang is where he was before he fought Hrgovic, right? He is basically he's where he could have been if he beat Hrgovic. Hrgovic got the nod, so Hrgovic's in that position. He beat Joe Joyce, so he's in that position. So we're looking at it like, okay, well, wow, you got two guys in position for title showdowns with the champion, okay? And that in this case, the same champion. So yeah, they don't need to fight each other. But the whole idea of Filip calling out Zhilei Zhang is one thing. But then again, will Zhilei Zhang want to call him out because he's got it in a position that he's comfortable in? It's easy to call out Tyson Fury or Usyk because that's the title fight, right? But call out the guy that decisioned you once before. How about that? So you guys tell me what you think of Zhilei Zhang calling out Oleksandr Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion of the world. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!